Hi everybody, hi Net and YouTube. I'm just going to go live for a short time, for real, really only a short time this time, just to thank everybody who's calling out the Kash Patel transfic that he wrote with ChatKGB. I've been calling it out for a few days, and so maybe that's why Net and YouTube is allowing me to see other content creators who are calling out the fakeness of Kash Patel and ChatKGB's transfic. Of course, the first video that Net and YouTube showed me about Kash Patel's transfic was Adam Mockler. Shame, 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 Adam Mockler. He even says, like, he's aware of this. He says in his video, I lost so many subscribers, because I said that Tyler Robinson's not a groiper. But these texts that Kash Patel gave me prove that Tyler Robinson's not a groiper. And they don't. They prove that Tyler Robinson is a groiper, and they prove that Kash Patel is a groiper for protecting him, and they prove that Adam Mockler is a groiper for protecting him. That's how this works. You get taken down with this network you've decided to ally yourself with. Even if you've LARPed as a leftist like Adam Mockler, you get taken down because you're promoting their lies. Really proud to see Dive Had It podcast, to see Ross Childs, who does the Vladimir Futon impersonation of JD Vance. Lysandra V Comedy is the one who gave me the Vladimir Futon name for him, which is, I think, perfect, just one of the best. But Ross Childs called it out as completely fake. Other people have called it out as completely fake, and I have seen their videos. And I've made my own videos. Here's my impression of Kash Patel's prompts to Chat KGB. Make roommate trans. Admit to everything. Reference every piece of evidence. Talk about that time you engraved the bullet casings, but for some reason spell uwu differently in the text in the bullet casings. That'll really convince them that it's human element and not Chat KGB writing this. Use my love, but only a few times. Also use full sentences because I really want credit for this. This is going to be like my most publicized, famous writing. And so when people read it, I want them to ultimately realize that I wrote it, but I don't want them to think I'm trans and just fantasizing about talking to my trans girlfriend. So I'm going to say, my love, but only a couple of times. But that'll still be enough that they can make a Hallmark movie out of it, making them folk heroes, defending their love. Oh, this is a really big cell phone. So yeah, that's my Kash Patel. You can check out my Kash Patel video. But yeah, like he tried to give himself credit. He was like, Tyler Robinson's supposed to be all like, Kash Patel's 4 steps ahead of me. He's already texted my dad. Kash Patel's on the case. Oh, look out for this wily Kash Patel. I was expecting to take this secret with me till I died, but since Kash Patel's on the case, what can you do? When, of course, he really did text his Groiper terror cell. There's actual text that Inside Edition was reporting on. Of course, Inside Edition was reporting on them in order to make it look like it was just a Luigi thing, like he was just trying to be like Luigi. And the Groiper terror cell is, oh, you did, dog? You killed that fool? Don't go to McDonald's. And they're just all totally expected it. The Groiper Terrorist Network, it would have been one of them. They would have done it if it wasn't for Tyler Robinson doing it. So they all totally expected it. They also didn't turn him in, and as far as we know, they haven't been arrested. I heard from Steve Bannon, thanks to Reese Waters, played a Steve Bannon clip, but I heard from Steve fucking Bannon that they arrested the roommates of the Boston Marathon bombers. So why haven't they arrested these Groiper kids that Tyler Robinson was texting? Because they've made a deal with these Groiper kids to say, we're going to let you all off. Don't worry. Just admit, claim that a few of you are trans. Just LARP that a few of you are trans, and then we're going to let you go. We just need you to be trans for a month or so while we get this Civil War thing going. So that's what they're doing. That's what we're up against. They're total losers. They completely snitched on themselves, completely told on themselves as, just making all this crap up. Then they tried to fire Jimmy Kimmel, and firing Jimmy Kimmel made a bigger martyr of Jimmy Kimmel than Charlie Kirk, even though Jimmy Kimmel's still alive and can come back from the dead. Makes more of a Jesus figure than Jimmy Kimmel than Charlie Kirk. Although they were trying to make Charlie Kirk, they were trying to replace your conception of Jesus with Charlie Kirk, because that's how Antichrist they are. Your conception of Jesus is pretty weak. You don't really have the right Jesus if you're able to replace your idea of Jesus or attach your idea of Jesus to Charlie Kirk. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to replace your Jesus with Charlie Kirk because they're Antichrist. And they triggered their Mormon extremist, their Mormon terrorist to do it. But I just say Mormon terrorist to make fun of people who say that about other religions. He is a Mormon terrorist, but he's a groiper. Like, the reason he did it is not to imitate Luigi or for fame or something. He did it because he's a groiper. Okay. Jimmy Kimmel knew that and reported on it. And because he said the truth, because he said it's MAGA on MAGA violence, because Jimmy Kimmel called him out as a groiper, Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. Well, we all know that's wrong, and Jimmy Kimmel is being seen as more of a martyr than Charlie Kirk is right now. People care about Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody really cares about Charlie Kirk. Like, let's be real. They're all putting on an act, and that act is going to come back to bite them. That act is going to backfire on them. All our senators that voted for a Charlie Kirk Day, well, they just confirmed themselves as white supremacists. Throw that whole class out. You know, if you've confirmed yourself as a white supremacist, you do not represent Americans. You only represent Trump-Hooteneers, and we don't need you anymore. So all these people basically fell for a trap. They tried to set a trap for us. They tried to attack themselves and blame us like they've done so many times before. Bibi's October 9/11, Putin in Chechnya, Trump with the Butler teleprompter fireman shooter, the misser. Like, they keep attacking themselves to blame us. And we're not going to let that play work anymore with Charlie Kirk. And they're trying to do this worship Kirk or you can't work thing. You know, and Jimmy Kimmel's going to be their last example of that, because that's going to turn around on them. If you help participate in that, you're getting removed. They're trying to kidnap all these people, stock their concentration camps. They're trying to take citizenship away from babies. So anybody who's involved in any of that, they can lose their citizenship. They can lose their houses. Their houses can go to immigrants, people who deserve their houses. Good evening, Ghost Samurai, 1925. I was just talking about how Kash Patel really self-owned himself by making that fake text exchange between Tyler Robinson and his trans roommate. He doesn't exist, or he's not trans. And how all those people should be in jail for being part of a terror cell. But the FBI is not going to interrogate him and get that information out. The FBI is going to tell him, we want you to sign off on this script, you know, admitting that you're all trans and that it's a trans thing. You know, the FBI is going to give them light sentences or let them off if they participate in Trump's anti-trans agenda. So anyway, we're going to put a stop to it. I'm probably not going to be live for much longer, but it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for saying hi. And I don't know, if it goes viral, I'll go live a little bit longer. I can be late to work. But the point being, they've self-owned themselves. They've told on themselves. It's going to collapse with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's going to be the turning point, okay? Firing Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has so much support, and people are going to see through. People are going to pay attention to and see through all their lies. And fascism, their fascist lies are like a shark. They have to keep lying. They had to, well, they didn't have to fire Jimmy Kimmel. That was kind of a mistake. But they had to insist, or they have to insist in their own selves that all their lies are true. So when Jimmy Kimmel tells the truth, that he was a MAGA terrorist, a Mormon terrorist, a Mormon extremist, a groiper, when Jimmy Kimmel tells that truth, they have to fire him for it. But the truth is going to come out, and people are going to stand up for Jimmy Kimmel for telling the truth. Work, I'm 45, retired at 31. Cool. Yeah, work. But I do have to go to work in a little bit. Still, like I said, I can make work late if this goes viral, and how it goes viral is you continuing to comment or liking the live and things like that. But people can see it in the future too. I've been doing a lot of content making fun of Kash Patel, making fun of Trump, making fun of Putin and Netanyahu for killing Charlie Kirk, trying to blame us, and basically just getting the other examples of when they did this revealed. Bibi's October 9/11, which he himself called his 9/11, like laying it out there for you. Putin did the same shit in Chechnya. He had Russian soldiers attack him, and then attack use that as an excuse to crack down on the Chechnyan uprising or revolution. Trump did it in Butler, Pennsylvania with his crisis actor who shot that teleprompter and fireman. They don't care about killing people. They will kill whoever they have to kill to get their agenda going. Stephen Miller was kind of upset about Charlie Kirk getting, or he's just still upset about Elon Musk stealing his wife. But they're all like, Charlie Kirk, worship Charlie Kirk or you can't work. Worship Charlie Kirk or you can't work. Trying to cancel everybody and threaten everybody who doesn't worship Charlie Kirk. And they're trying to replace Jesus with Charlie Kirk. That's like literally their goal here, to make people's Christianity into this antichrist fascism crap. And that's going to backfire on them too, because the Church of Judas replaces their churches. Check out the hashtag Church of Judas. Anyway, this is all backfiring on them. Everybody's calling out Kash Patel for lying about this, for making up these text messages, for making up the trans roommate. If they're making up the trans roommate, then, which I've always thought they were, If they're making that up, then first of all, they'll make up anything, and they do have this Groyper terrorist cell who will go along with what they make up. So it could be hard until the media, or if they're not arresting the Groyper terrorist cell that Tyler Robinson texted, I killed him, and they're like, oh yeah, we knew you did it, dog, or whatever, don't go to McDonald's. When they said all that stuff, they're not arresting those guys. Then the media can get to them, and the media can ask them questions, or the media can promise them, whatever, so that they can actually come forward with the truth and expose Tyler Robinson, Groyper, Nick Fuentes. Putin, Trump, Nick Fuentes activated this Groyper cell to do this. And they might have activated it that very day. It seems like it's so very well planned that it has to be. But it doesn't matter. They're still responsible. They're still guilty. And you still know they're guilty because Trump and Netanyahu had these huge plans ready to go once Charlie Kirk was shot. Like, that's obvious as fuck. And their plans included all these lies. I mean, Putin does make these plans for him. Putin does script all this stuff. Well, you're Antichrist. Someone said, thank God for Trump in the comments, but you're Antichrist. Like, if you're thinking you're Satan, you're evil God for evil Trump, it's like you're just an Antichrist worshiper. Like, Jesus has nothing to do with that. Your evil God is actually Putin, and his son, his little boy Trump, is the Antichrist compared to the goddess of Jesus, and Jesus, the true Christ. So you heard it here first. I mean, I don't know who else is going to tell you guys that. But Tom V says the boss is back. No, Putin's your boss. Putin's running it. Putin and Netanyahu and Trump killed Charlie Kirk. Okay? You're cheering them on? You're cheering on the killers of Charlie Kirk? Like, you can check my content. I proved this pretty fully. Trump is the most responsible for killing Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying Israel and Netanyahu didn't do it. Candace Owens isn't lying. Okay, Candace Owens is putting her life on the line, actually, for this. They will probably kill Candace Owens, even though it proves what she's saying is true, because that's how much they don't care. They can still lie about it, But Ghost Samurai says, Tom gets on his knees, opening mouth wide for Zaddy, Chomo, Trump. Exactly. You're taking it for Trump. And it makes you a pedophile, and it makes you a Nazi, and it makes you a traitor. No, the Dems didn't do anything. You did it. Tyler Robinson did it as a Groyper. Nick Fuentes did it. Trump did it. Netanyahu did it. Putin did it. And you did it, Tom B. So if you're mad about Charlie Kirk being killed, be mad at yourself. Nope, Tom V, you're an idiot. I don't need to talk to you anymore. I think I'll mute you for your own health, even though I'm going to shut down the live anyway in just a minute. But I'll mute you for a minute, for that final minute anyway. I'll probably shut down the live pretty soon because I got to go to work, and this hasn't gone viral yet. I mean, I appreciate your comments, but they're kind of a distraction from, we can focus on people who get it, that Trump killed Charlie Kirk, Trump's the most responsible. Even if you believe everything Kash Patel is telling you, and this guy just did it to protect his lover, to self-defense for the trans community, even if you believe that, Trump is the one who's put the trans community on defense this whole time. Trump's the one who's been attacking the trans people this whole time. So Trump's responsible, even if you believe your lies about it. And his roommate's not even trans. Like, that's just Kash Patel. Like, that's Kash Patel and the Chat KGB making up this trans fake stuff. Okay? Like, Jimmy Kimmel's right. The shooter was MAGA. Anybody who's even reporting on it, that Jimmy Kimmel went with a false... No, Jimmy Kimmel knows the truth. He might not even know the full truth, but he knows he's on the right. He knows he's MAGA. He knows he's MAGA on MAGA crime. And we all know that now. Firing Jimmy Kimmel is just going to draw even more attention to it until we root out everyone who spreads your anti-trans lies. That's how it's going down. You guys made a martyr of Jimmy Kimmel without killing him, trying to make a martyr of Charlie Kirk, who's dead. Like, you killed Charlie Kirk, trying to make a martyr out of him to blame us. And nobody actually cares. Like, if anything, people are happy about it, then all y'all are acting sad about it. You're not even acting sad. You're acting like you want revenge, which is what they programmed you to do, which is why they killed it, which is why you killed it. You need to get revenge on yourself by rooting out the damn Putin and Trump from your head. Okay? Like, Netanyahu, Putin, and Trump have all you locked down. We're trying to rescue you and free you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So anyway, I'll be back. In the meantime, if there are any Trump Putin in comments, I'm going to remove your curses and I'm cursing Netanyahu with them. I'm removing your curses and I'm cursing Putin with them. And I'm removing your curses and I'm cursing Trump with them. You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're replacing the Christian church with the Church of Judas. We've seen all the fruits of the Christian church, Hitler and Putin and Trump and Charlie Kirk. And we're replacing the Christian church. The Christian church is so fake. Their Jesus is so antichrist and so easily replaced by Charlie Kirk that he's obviously fake. But the real Jesus had a plan this whole time. He set Judas aside outside of the church. Judas isn't responsible for any of the stuff the church did. And now Judas has been revealed and will come back and replace all Christian churches. So while these Nazis are burning down our libraries and schools and governments, we're taking their churches away. And we're repurposing their churches. And this is the plan that Jesus had. This is how we actually topple the empires and end the wars and stop these fascist regimes, Putin's and Netanyahu's and Trump's and all the other ones they're connected to. We stop them all at once. I call that part the pillar revolution because we can do it from bed. We can do it on our phones. We can do it with love. We can do it just by talking the truth about stuff. The truth does destroy fascism. And you can just see their lies had to progress to firing Jimmy Kimmel. Well, they made a martyr of Jimmy Kimmel trying to make a martyr of Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel's the one we're going to honor and feel sorry for and have sympathy for and help come back on the air in one form or another and support. And he doesn't have any reason to pull any punches now. Like, they would be lucky to let him back on his show where they still have some control over what he says. Because if he goes Don Lemon status, if he goes on YouTube, TikTok and stuff, yeah, we're going to win. I believe that we will win. And we will overthrow Trump. We will prove that Trump and Putin and Netanyahu killed Charlie Kirk so that all their fervor about killing damn Charlie Kirk is going to be turned against Netanyahu and put Trump and Putin pretty soon. Candace Owens is even helping with that. Steve fucking Bannon is even helping with that. They don't realize it yet because they might be, let's blame Netanyahu to divert the attention away from Trump, who even more is even more responsible for killing Charlie Kirk. We'll see. We'll see how long their charade can last, but this should be the turning point. Trying to fire Jimmy Kimmel and making a martyr of Jimmy Kimmel should be the turning point when they're trying to make a martyr of fucking Charlie Kirk. But they're not going to get away with it. So, Kash Patel, his lies, his cover-up is going to be one of the things that really blows the lid off. I mean, everybody is talking about how fake these things are, except for the fake content creators like Adam Mockler, shame, 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 and Luke Beasley, shame, 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 shame. These losers are putting forward the Kash Patel lies and have been. They were full-chested about, this proves their agenda, Putin's agenda, to distract from the actual Putin-Trump terrorist network. Anyway, I got to go. Hope you all have a great day. See you soon.